What's up, everybody? Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, we got another knife review for you today, and this one's really cool too because this is another one of those collaboration knives from Beretta and Tops. So Beretta Firearms teamed up with Tops Knives to come out with two blades, and they're both pretty awesome. The first one I did a review on was the Bora Peak. If you guys haven't seen my video on this bad boy, go check it out. Got a full review up on that. But the second knife that they did was the CRATER Moon, and this is more of a EDC self-defense style karambit. Okay, so this is kind of based a little bit off of the Devil's Claw from Tops Knives, but with a different blade shape, right? So you still got that karambit handle, but with a different blade shape. And they're calling this kind of on Beretta's website, they kind of list this as a hawkbill style blade. To me, it's more of a drop point, spear point kind of different style. But either way, it's still really cool. Very nicely done. I've actually been carrying this around for a while. When I went to Blade Show, Texas, I actually had it on me. Carried nicely. I had it with this beta loop. Man, I can't talk to you guys. With these beta loops, I was carrying it appendix like horizontally. Walking around the show all day, never gave me any issues, didn't feel like it rubbed or anything. And, I was on my feet walking around all day for a couple of days, during the show. So, carried nicely, no issues. Feels really good in the hand. Even with my big old meat paws, I'm able to get a full grip on this. My ring fits in the finger nicely. The ring doesn't actually throw my fingers out of alignment. Like some ring knives will put my finger really out of alignment. If you've seen some of my other videos on ring knives, sometimes I'm not the biggest fan of them, but sometimes when it's done right, I do like them. And this one, I feel like it's done right, even with my big old meat paws. But you can see I still got a nice natural kind of fist. So if I got to come in and do any type of self-preservation type stuff, you can definitely do that. It's also big enough too where I can kind of I can't do all the cool flip karambit stuff that a lot of like Tomas from Tactical Tavern can do, or Doug Micardo. This is about the extent of what I feel like I could safely do, is do this quick little flip. So, but even in the standard grip with this nice jimping right here, you come across the top, you kind of got a lot of power to be able to push, pull, slice, and dice. You know what I'm saying? This knife, let's go over the specs on this real quick. So this is the CRATER Moon, and one thing I will point out, what I thought was really cool with the Bora Peak and the CRATER Moon is both of these knives, where you're probably thinking, where do these names come from, Bora Peak and CRATER Moon? Well, what's kind of cool is these are Bora Peak and CRATER Moon are both natural kind of landmarks in Idaho where Tops is located at. So it was really cool that when they chose the name, Beretta chose the name, they picked a couple of like natural landmarks from the surrounding area of Tops to name the knives after, which I thought was really cool. I mean, because they could have named it anything else or whatever, but it was kind of cool that they kind of stuck with that collaboration and named both knives after natural landmarks. So, but this is the CRATER Moon. The overall length on this is 6.75 inches. Your blade length is 2.63, and you have a cutting edge of 2.63. So this is definitely going to fit into, maybe one of those areas where there's some places in the U.S. where you're not allowed to carry a blade over 3 inches, things like this. So this would actually fill in pretty nicely as an EDC knife for those areas where larger blades aren't permitted. So it's very nice that they kind of came in with a little bit of a smaller option for those people. Blade thickness, you're looking at 0.16. It's 1095 high carbon steel with a Rockwell hardness of 56 to 58, which Tops does on just about everything, which they've got that mastered. You have the black traction coating. This is a dark gray and black G10 handle scale material with blue G10 liners. It came out very nicely. It's got some nice, like the stippling or kind of textured pattern that they put in here. It feels really nice. It's not overly aggressive, but it gives you plenty of traction when you're holding on to it. The weight on this knife is 3.5 ounces, so it's not very heavy. With the sheath, you're looking at 5.3. So it makes it, an ideal EDC carry option. And so that's going to kind of lead me into, well, what's this knife designed for? To me, in my personal opinion, this is designed to be a everyday carry knife, like just doing your everyday kind of small cutting tasks that you would do with, almost any folding knife or things like that. But you get a little bit more robust stoutness with the fixed blade. But it also will act as a quick hurry up and get that zombie off you self-preservation tool. It's not with the blade length, you know, it's going to be able to allow you to draw it quickly, get off me, you know, or kind of come in and do quick little stabs and pokes on that zombie. And then you'll be able to go back to the office after you talk to the popo and cut open your boxes and get back to work, right? That's, to me, that's what I envision this knife as being. Is not necessarily designed to be like, it's not a chopper, guys. We're not going to come in and we're not going to do any chopping with this thing, or, you know, but you can come in and maybe do some light woodworking, which we're gonna attempt to do, you know. But this is your light EDC blade designed for self-preservation as well, right? So this is like, get off me, dude. We got work to do, right? So that, in my mind, that's what this knife is designed for. So and if you're looking for something that's a bigger, heavier woods bushcraft knife, this might not be your option. This is, again, like I said, the urban carry option to me, in my personal opinion. But what we're going to do right now is, I actually have a little bit of a different test set up. I haven't done one of these in a while, but we got some natural organic medium setup that we can practice our cuts on, and then we're going to get over here and we're going to do the wood cutting, you know, a little bit of wood shaving, kind of EDC, some rope cutting, things like that. Let you guys see this in its EDC use task. All right, guys, stay tuned. We're going to go set up over there real quick, and then we'll get to it. All right, everybody, what I have here is a big chunk of fat. There's a little bit of beef meat still on here. I got this from a local butcher shop. This is something that they were throwing away. It's not really, because it's just so much fat, they don't really use it for anything, but they were nice enough to give it to me. Anyway, this is frozen. You guys can hear that. This is a frozen chunk of basically fat, right? You guys can see it's about yay big around. Real quick, I am a silly goose in the fact that I didn't show you guys the sheath on this. So the sheath comes with beta loop straps. It's a nice Kydex sheath. The retention on this is ridiculously good. Like, it's just, you got this nice little thumb ramp, like, you can pop this off, bam, there it goes. Step out of frame for a second. I'm back. Very, very cool sheath. You can take these beta loops off. You could net carry this knife if you wanted to, utilizing these two holes, or if you guys can see, there's multiple options on here. So you could put a deep carry concepts clip on there, tack lock, however you decide you want to carry this. But man, when this knife goes in, it locks in real positive step. There's like hardly any wiggle or movement, but man, this thing will pop out quick if you need it. So sorry about that. I meant to show that to you over there. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. But what we want to see here is, we're going to take this knife and we try to get a good angle here. This is a big flat piece side. You can see right here of that fat. I'm going to come in off to the side. See the knife right here. I'm going to just come in and we're going to give it a quick little, we're going to go a little diagonal cut, right? And we're not going to go like big swing and chop. It's just going to be like a, and now imagine, let me set this off to the side. Imagine like that zombie's coming at you and you're like, hey man, I don't want any trouble, stay back. Bam, right? We're just going to do a quick little, hey, stay back, man, stay back. I don't want no problems. You know what I mean? That's the type of hit we're going to put on here right here. Just a little quick, hey, get off me type of hit, okay? Now, you got to forgive me, guys. I'm working by myself, so I got to kind of move my camera around, but here's the blade. Make sure we're in shot. Hey, man, I'm serious, dude. Just stay back. I don't want no problems. Oh, bam, right there, okay? So let me flip my camera angle around so I can see what I'm doing here. So I did that quick little chop. You can see the blade tip here. That was just a quick little, hey, I might need the knife to, you guys can see, that's a pretty good deep little cut right there. And again, this is frozen. This isn't, if this wasn't frozen, that would be way deeper. But I just did a quick little snap cut kind of, and I mean, look at how I was able to cut that open pretty good, you know. So now let's say, now you got to come in, do a little stab, right? So you got your reverse grip and you're like, again, you're like, hey man, I don't want no problems, bro. Stay back. Hey, man. Well, apparently I stabbed it hard enough to break the stick that that this was sitting on. But you get the point, right? No pun intended. So right here is where I stabbed in. That's how deep I was able to get that knife in there just with that quick little stab. So let's set this back up again. Probably should have used a thicker piece of wood, guys. Did not expect that to break off. But there we go. But I mean, that was just a quick little pow. And I mean, we got what, a good quarter of the way in there. And if the stick hadn't broke off, I probably could have dug this deep in all the way in. So let's try that again. We're gonna hopefully not break off. So again, right here, hey man, I'm telling you, I don't want no problem. Bam, look at that, halfway through into the, I mean, and this is, again, if this was defrosted, it wasn't frozen, it would definitely, I would have buried it to the hilt. So, but look at that, it came all the way in. That's a nice, good. Let's try, I'm not very good at this stuff, so let's try a little kind of reverse cut. We'll see if we can, how we can do here, guys, on this. So come on, stay back, bro, stay back. So kind of came in right under here, and that tip just kind of drove right through, kind of came up and out. So if I was a little bit more skilled at this, I probably could do a little bit better of a cut coming across, but still, I mean, that's going to get the point across. No pun intended again. But I really like this size and this grip, because if I'm coming in, right, and that zombie's coming at me, man, I could pop them here, I could pop them here, but like if I pop them here, they're also probably going to be getting the back end of this tip. So I'm coming, bam. So not only was I able to get a punch in, but I also was able to cut probably part of the zombie as well, in the fact that I'm doing that. So we bring the camera over here, kind of give you a look at that. So if I had to come in and punch, bam, you could see, like, not only did I'm making contact, but the blade is also making contact on the zombie over here. So if you kind of come in, like right there, before my fist even got there, I was able to drive the blade into the zombie. You know what I mean? So it's a nice, for fighting off zombies, I mean, that's a good little hit. Come on. Come up like that. Come in like this. So it's pretty cool. Like, I mean, you can come in and put in some serious get off me zombie work here, you know what I mean? And it's leaving nice little cuts here, guys. So you can see all of the kind of cut marks that I was leaving there. I mean, you're definitely going to get that zombie to at least back up off of you, allow you a chance to get out of there, go call for help, you know, call in Milo Jovovich from Resident Evil to help you fight off those zombies. But I mean, this is a cool little get off me blade, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to mess around, bro, leave me alone. And this jimping on the back, your thumb's on there, it's locked in, man. This jimping is very aggressive, and it's going to lock your thumb on there, so it's not coming off as you're doing all these crazy little cuts and hits and stabs. Let's see, can we get a nice little close-up right here? Got this piece right here. Look at that. Just blowing it up. So as a zombie get off me tool, definitely works. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna clean up the blade, wash it off real quick, and then we're gonna go over there and do some of the EDC normal style tasks that you would do with this knife. So stay tuned, everybody. All right, everybody, we're over here at the normal testing area, as I guess we'll call it. That was kind of fun, guys. I probably really need to start kind of doing that a little bit more with the knives, because obviously knife is a tool, an edge tool for lots of different reasons, and self-preservation from zombies is one of them. So maybe, you know, in the future with more knives that are designed with that kind of intended purpose, we'll do a little bit more videos like that with some organic zombie mediums. But what we're going to show off right now is some of the just kind of everyday cutting tasks that you can do with the Crater Moon, right? So again, this is a smaller blade. You're looking at 2.63 inch blade, I think it was. Again, let's test out the stabbing capabilities of this. So we got the fire hose right here, guys. This is 2 layers. If you watch my channel at all, you know all about the fire hose. It's tough, it's hard, it's difficult to cut. Very cut and abrasion resistant, but we're gonna stab into it right here. We're going to set it right here. We're going to, oh yeah. So dug it in right there, pierced it nicely. Kind of come in here. Bam. If you had to cut it, you could cut it. That's a nice clean cut, guys. So if you had to do some stabbing, cutting, things like that, definitely could. Let's get there. There we go. We got the old catalog here. Let's see what kind of penetration we get on this. So we're going to go reverse grip. One thing I will point out too, guys, if you didn't want to use a ring, you can also kind of wrap your finger over the top of it like that. It's not uncomfortable. It's kind of a neutral type thing. It doesn't bother me either way. So I think that's going to be a personal preference thing. If you don't like the ring, you can wrap your finger around it. Kind of hard to say if you'll like it or not. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't bother me. But you know what? I'm going to do my stab with my finger wrapped around it, just so we can see what it feels like. Maybe, you know, I'll let you know if it hurts or not. But no, didn't hurt at all. But we're able to punch through about a quarter of the catalog there. The tip is just right here. Let's try that again. I'm going to put my finger in the ring this time. We'll give it a stab. There we go. Yeah, punched it through again. You guys see the tip right there. So about a good quarter of the catalog. Not bad. This one's been cut up pretty good, so let's try this. That was just a quick little, right? Yeah, tip went through. And went through a few of the pages. It wasn't like a deep, hard. It's kind of hard to do this holding it because I'm afraid I don't want to cut myself either. There we go. That was a little bit, put a little bit more oomph onto it. You guys can see, nice, good little slash there. So, you know, like I said, if you had to come in and cut some of that stuff up, you definitely could. Nice thing with this too is like if you're up on it and you had to be like precise. Let's say you had to cut a piece of leather or something, right? You had to be real precise. Like there's this triangle here, right, on this little catalog. Oh, I need to be precise. You're at work doing, I don't know, cutting. You can grab it like this. You can come in, push that tip down. Come in there and do some precise cuts. That was kind of hastily cut, but you know, do a precise cut. Maybe you have to cut something out like that. This tip, because how it kind of dips down, it actually lends itself to doing some precision cutting. So that's pretty cool. It's good to know. You got your typical poly rope, or not poly rope, 550 cord. Had a brain fart, guys. So you had to come in and cut some, you know, cordage, you know, making your ridge line for your outdoor shelter, whatever. You can come in, do that. Cut some rope, not a problem. At least that rope anyway. Shoot, this is about the biggest piece of the poly rope I got left, so I can't really cut it this way. I can't fold it over to cut it, but we will cut it this way. So you had to come in, cut a piece of poly rope, so you can cut poly rope, no problem. Shoot, I'm gonna have to go buy some more poly rope, guys. But let's check this edge and tip real quick. Still holding up really, really well. You know, it's a tops knife. Ooh, yeah, taking some hair off. You guys see little hairs go there. So tip is still nice and needle point, not a problem. So let's say you had to come in and cut some jean material, right? Some clothing. Somebody got injured. You got to get to the injury. You know, we got the, so you can pierce right in there. Come in, cut up pants. No problem. I got hooked on my little sharpening tool right there. Definitely come in, cut off any clothing material you need to for possible emergency situation. So those are kind of some of the EDC type tasks you might do, possibly with cardboard. Well, I don't bring any cardboard out, but like with the catalog and stuff like that. Again, let's say you need to make some fire curls, do some little light wood stuff. Again, this isn't a chopper. Don't use it as a chopper. but you might want to use it to make some fire curls or something like that. Let's see what we could do here. Cutting them off. Well, problem, I'm too heavy-handed with these things. So there's some fire curls. Let's say I needed to make this into a little bit of a sharper spike. You know, we got rid of the zombie, now the vampire's coming after us, right? Come in here, hog off some more material, get this down to a nice needle point. Bam, there you go. Get it down a nice little point there. You could even come in here and choke up and be a little bit more precise with it if you wanted to be. Bam. So yeah, you could do, you know, kind of some of your typical wood stuff with it. Let's try this piece of wood. That piece was a little, yeah. Some of this stuff is a little wet too because it's been raining out here, guys. So, but would I say this is the best fire curl making knife I've ever used? I would say no, but again, I also know that that's not what this was designed for, so it's not something that really bothers me. But we got to show a little bit of the toughness of this, guys. I do not recommend doing this at home with your knife. This knife isn't designed to do this. It is not intended for this purpose, but I'm going to do it for you to show you that this knife is tough. And if you were in a situation where you absolutely had to do it, it could handle it. So here's a piece of wood. I think this came off of a 2x6 or something like that. We're just going to do a quick little baton through here with it. Baton stick here. It's kind of split in half. Bam, able to baton through that pretty good, not a problem. Here's another piece, just another piece of wood. Bam, baton through there if you needed to. So if you absolutely had to baton through a small piece of wood, you could do it, not a problem. Edge is still there, everything's still nice and tight, like it should be. Tip is still there. Got a Black Hawk flying over. Hey guys, you should go get one of these. They're really good. Carry it on your plate carrier. Just saying. So, gotta forgive the noise there, guys. Seriously, like I think they're doing some training missions or something. But what I was gonna do was, so here's a 2x6. I am gonna test out this tip a little bit more, guys, for you guys, because it's pretty important, right? Because for a self-preservation tool against zombies, you need to make sure that this thing's going to have a tip that's going to hold up as you might hit that zombie's femur bone or something like that. So slam it in there. Let's do a little turn here. Put that pressure on that tip and that edge, guys. Want you guys, if you pick one of these up, I want you to know that, hey, this thing is going to hold up to some toughness, right? Some abuse, if you will. Not that you would go out and abuse your knife, but, sometimes things happen and you have to use your knife in a, not typical manner. You got to know that it's going to hopefully hold up to that, You're not going to completely destroy it, So kind of digging in here nice and yeah, it did absolutely nothing to the tip, guys. It is still needle point, still sharp. There's no chipping, rolling on the edge up here. You can see I was kind of grinding a hole into there. So yeah, if you guys had to kind of come in and do some of that, absolutely. You know what? I believe in this knife so much, guys. We're going to do one more baton, and this time it's going to be through this old seasoned piece of hardwood. This thing actually was one of my, I think this was part of one of my baton sticks at one point in time. So we're gonna put this right here. We'll get the old, little bit bigger baton and stick. Oh yeah, that was easy. Knot right there. Baton through that spot. So right here, guys, you see this big old kind of knot where this branch came off. We're going to kind of come down. We're going to try to come down right through the middle of that. Again, don't necessarily recommend you doing this with your knife, but if you had to, you could. All right. So, guys can see, split right through that knot, no problem. So, very awesome, guys. I mean, this Crater Moon, if you know, you're into karambits and things like that, you know, you want to come in and do all the cool flippity tricks and stuff, absolutely. You know, you come in, bam, get your guy, get your zombie, pow, right, do all that cool stuff. It fits my hand nicely. I got big old XL meat paws. Edges held up fine, the tips held up fine. I mean, this is just going to be a good EDC carry, you know, for everyday smaller task, you know, kind of emergency situations, and hey, get off me zombie type of stuff, right? Self-preservation stuff. I think this is going to fit a bill nicely. Again, in that, with those beta loops, appendix carrying right here, almost fell out of my chair. Was able to carry it around all day, every day, walking around. I walked, you know, a few miles every day at Blade Show, Texas. Didn't have any issues, didn't rub me raw, didn't give me any kind of hot spots or anything like that. If I was to throw a deep carry concepts clip onto that, I could easily pocket carry this all day with it, with just the ring barely coming out of my pocket, so I could easily grab it, get it out, deploy it. It's great. I think this thing is fantastic for what it is. The only thing I think I would point out is the jimping on the back is pretty aggressive. So if I wanted to come in here and make a, let's say make a tri-stick, right? You got all those cuts. If you've ever seen a tri-stick, I left one in the house. But if you had to do a lot of like fine kind of work and stuff, and you're resting your thumb up on that jimping for a long time and really pressing in, it is pretty aggressive on your thumb. So I would choke my thumb back a little bit just onto the spine right here if I was going to be doing a lot more finer task. But again, for all that cool stuff, it's awesome because your thumb isn't going anywhere. You don't have to worry about your finger sliding off or anything like that. So you got to keep in mind what its intended purpose is for. All right, everybody, that is the Crater Moon Beretta and tops. Killer job, guys. This thing is pretty slick. I like it. It's definitely going in my EDC rotation. I actually have I have a plan for this, and when I do my my Eberly stock Bando Bag XL review, I think I'm working on something where I'm going to be able to mount this onto that bag in a discreet kind of way. So I will put that in that video, so guys, keep an eye out. If you guys are interested in flashlights and gear bags and other EDC paraphernalia, make sure you go check out my other channel, Straight Edge Lights and Gear. That's where I'm doing all those reviews. I'm doing flashlights, bags, EDC tools, things like that. So if you're into that type of stuff, go check out my Straight Edge Lights and Gear channel. There'll be a link to the description below. I will also have links for Beretta firearms down in the description below, as well as Tops knives, guys. So make sure you go check them out. Make sure you go pick up one of these Crater Moons. It's pretty awesome. All right, everybody, stay safe, stay sharp, and we'll see you on the next one.